Gaylord.
Hey.
And everybody. This is my wonderful friend who knows a lot about grafting. He's my mentor in that respect. A few years ago, he came and he grafted one of his hybrid citrus. He called it Le Mandarin.
Yes.
And it was doing fantastic. Unfortunately, this is how it ended up being. Surveyors came the other day and it looks like it was in the line of where they were surveying between their two tripods and surveyors and whatnot. And because they have no perception of what went into all this, they simply hacked it out. So they cut this one here, and this is where the graft site is, the original graft site. So we are going to try to tape where they damaged below the graft site and hope that we'll have some more new growth coming from right where my finger is above the graft site. On the other hand, there's they really cut the graft below the graft site where Gaylord is working right now. So we're gonna do, we call that a hardwood graft, or what do you call that?
Bark. Try to do a bark graft if
Bark
I can.
graft.
If I can get the bark to lift. This is
Yes.
kind of.
So he's gonna try to get the bark to lift right there. And what I did is like I took some of the amputated limbs. I hate to say this, but they were amputated in a very butcher-like manner. And I cut off the leaves and a lot of the branches to minimize the evaporation. So here are all the branches I had, and I put them in a Ziploc bag and I put that in the refrigerator. So here we are. The leaves and everything else were cut off, and we are going to try to regraft this one here. So I believe you need at least a minimum of three
Which, the nodes or
nodes. And
we could actually do it with one if you're in a bind, but
yeah, but we have plenty.
yeah.
But
So
anyhow,
I'll do-
so Gaylord has clipped the
little scion. Now we're gonna.
scion just
gonna-
below one node, the bottom, and now he's going to shave it to make it fit into the bark. So you shave one side really long, and then you go with a very short shave on the other side. Correct, Gaylord?
Yes.
And
Trying
we
to
want
get the little
the
angle.
cambion,
Yeah.
which is that layer at the inside of the soft skin of the branch. Am I correct?
Yes.
To connect with the cambion of the bark in here where he has sort of peeled it off. So you see how he's doing this. This is to
I'll
maximize
expose that cambion
the
layer.
surface area of the cambion in the scion.
Here we go. So we're gonna try to get this to heal into the rootstock here.
Yes.
Maybe I'll try another.
We're looking at about 5 years of work that evaporated in about 30 seconds, where a guy came with his probably pocket knife, just simply got rid of his problem and created a bigger problem for us, of course. So Gaylord was generous and kind enough to give his Sunday morning to come for this emergency that he and I agree it is an emergency. Patient is about to die and he is the ER here.
Then we gotta wait another 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, actually the wood is old now, correct?
Yeah, no,
isn't
it'll.
the wood old? So here's
It
the
might be good in another year or so, as far as getting fruit.
Of course, you have to put the scion, the graft, heading upwards. Don't put it upside down. Okay.
Yeah.
Be careful about that. So here we are. We're in the process of shaving cambium in there.
Okay. Let's see. I should have wrapped this first, but I'll get it in a minute. Well, yeah, well, since I forgot to do that.
Yeah, it's not an issue. So the wise thing is to wrap it first, so as to minimize the handling and the damage that can happen as you wrap it with the tape later on. So here we are, and the idea is to make it pretty much moisture protected so it doesn't dry out before it
Do that.
before it starts sprouting and taking, God willing. So
Okay, here we go.
that little graft's called the scion, S-C-I-O-N. And as you see, we have two grafts. And now we are going to waterproof and evaporation proof the whole place. Very important. This is the most technical thing that can make or break a graft. Am I correct?
Yes, you gotta. Can't let this dry out. This section dry out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do not want that section to dry out. Do you see how we are getting it to line up? It's like bandaging,
Yeah, dressing the wound now.
dressing a wound. Yes, exactly what it is. The only thing that's missing is to take an X-ray. Yes, it's very important. Now, I've seen some videos where they put a paper bag on top of that.
I usually put a foil.
Foil? Yes, yes, you always do. And foil is better than paper. I've seen like they put a plastic bag,
Uh-huh.
all right, to keep the moisture, and then a foil
You could do that.
or paper bag on top of all this. And YouTube is loaded with all those things. But there's a huge difference between watching how it's done and getting the pro to do it. So we're getting a piece of rubber band in there, and
Just gotta kind of wrap it up.
we're going to wrap it up so as to have some kind of an elastic bonding in there. I'm going to put this on the Tidewater Virginia Vegetable Gardeners
Okay.
and the What's Up in Flowers and Plants.
Okay.
That's an overseas in Egypt.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a whole group of people out there,
Sounds good.
and they're gardeners and very nice people. And I know we're going to get a lot of likes. So this is Gaylord Ventura, everybody. And he's an optometrist for a profession, but
Ophthalmic
he-
medical technologist. Yeah.
Hmm?
Ophthalmic medical technologist. Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty similar.
yes, and very fine man. So this is a bark graft, and then we are going to go and graft on this one too.
Yes.
And as I said, we are going to try to recover the damage that happened here. You see that? They just butchered the poor stem here. So we're going to cover here and tape it on the hope that it will recover. We think it will. So here's the foil that was put in there to protect it from the sun. Should we put any kind of a filler in there, or is
No.
it's going to fill up?
I'm
with this?
not sure.
Okay, so here,
It's pretty badly damaged.
yeah, we're going to hope that this wrapping, I think it will work. Unbelievable. It's just so sad. And this one up here too?
Oh, yeah. This wouldn't have been so bad if they didn't hack into that
I
part.
know. Tell me about
It would
it.
have been good. Good to go. It could have just, it would have sprouted there.
Should we cover anything here too? Where the cut is?
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do that.
We're trying to stop the bleeding here.
First
A
aid.
tourniquet. Well, tourniquets cut the blood supply. No, we're just putting a band-aid.
There you go.
Yes, so that's how it is. From a different angle here. All right, and now we're gonna look at what we can do. You see, this is a trifoliate citrus. It's a wild orange. So it's called Poncerus trifoliata, and here we are. We are going to
Try to do another bark graft.
try to do another bark graft.
This is it's pretty angular and it's kind of a newer growth, so we'll see if it'll take. This looks good. I like the way it's lifting.
Straight up, huh?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a nice clean graft here.
Of course, this is the cross section, sort of triangular as you see, and we always try to get a surface of a scion that will try to match what we have in there. So
Find the same sort of close diameter scion that we can get in there. Just
I
take-
would even cut a little more, for like start from further up, so that whatever may have dried, you know,
Okay.
would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can try here.
Whatever you see on your. So we're preparing the scion for the grafting. So here we go.
So you think it was only like a day or so
Yeah.
while this was sitting
Yeah.
out?
2 at the most. And then it was raining like crazy.
Okay,
So,
that's good.
as you see, the leaves are not dried
Mhm.
out in the parts
Yes.
that I didn't even collect.
Okay. Getting wrap this.
So we prepare the scion, and then we wrap it first.
Probably should have wrapped it first, then
That's
made
all right.
that, but I
That's
forgot.
all right.
I'll just
So here we
insert
go.
that here. Just kind of get it in there like that.
I think I'm very clumsy when it comes to doing that part. I try
expose
to
this a little more.
make very tight
Oh.
connection. I've seen some people use wax for insulation in there. And I've seen some people use electric tape. I don't understand, how can a plant break through electric tape?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't use electrical tape. I don't know why it's so hard for people to just go buy and buy grafting tape. It's just not. It's not even that difficult to find.
Mhm. So you start from below. That is dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Now the rubber band.
This is not very tight. Just barely kind of putting tension on here, just to make sure that all the wood is kind of touching.
Yes. Is there any kind of a filler we can put around all this?
I don't use any
Just
sort
like-
of filler, no.
You know what I mean? Like crunched up wood or something that we can put in there, and like they do in grafting, bone grafts and stuff, you know?
Yeah, no, I think it would just introduce
Problems, huh?
Yeah, introduce.
Okay. Just a stupid question,
Germs
okay?
and stuff. No. Okay, so we're gonna
Good?
cross our fingers.
Yeah.
Just protect it a little bit from the soon-to-be summer sun beating down on it,
Yeah.
at least for about a week or so.
Okay. That's it?
That's
Just
it.
a week or so to keep the thing for?
Yes.
I sometimes
okay.
find like spider mites in,
Oh
in
yeah,
the area.
I see it right
And they
there.
feed on them, you know? And that seems to be something that can cause the damage to the graft.
Yeah. Should probably save some of this wood.
Well, you know what happened? We cut the thorns on the root section, all right?
Yes.
And the guy wanted to cut off the thing, so he found the thorns above where you're cutting right now, okay? So he went for the easy part
Goodness.
and cut the whole graft.
Cool.
That's exactly what he did. I can see it.
It's probably I guess they had their equipment set up. And,
Yeah, but I mean, if he would have had someone pull the thing or put a rope and
Oh,
pull
yeah.
it back,
That seemed
you
like
know,
more of a
life would have been very kind, you know? So,
it's just hard for me to look at all this down here
tell me
and
about
not want to like
Tell me
save
about
this and
it. Do you have any room to graft all that stuff in?
I might pass it on along to some of my citrus buddies and
Okay, sure.
they'll graft.
I take everything if you want. And if you want to take some of my other grafts, my successful grafts, you know, you're more than welcome. I've got about 20 varieties right now.
Oh, that's
you know?
great, yeah.
So here's how Gaylord is preparing to take some of whatever was cut. As you see, the leaves are healthy, so that tells us that it wouldn't cause too much damage because of the unfortunate
is,
rain that we had.
This is I Chang, I think.
Okay.
This is not Lemandrin because of the leaf pattern.
Okay. This
Interesting.
goes I Chang.
Yeah.
So did we graft any of that in?
I'm not sure
I've got enough other things where we can graft
Okay.
too. So yes, please.
Pretty sure this is I Chang.
All right. And there's plenty, as you see, for everybody to go around.
I'm not even sure now that I think that one I just cut was Lemandrin. Pretty sure. Yeah. Because the
There's
I
a
Chang
difference
has
between this leaf and that one.
has
right?
this little extra like
Okay, you
part.
see how the leaf has
Nope.
a little bit of a base?
Yeah.
Okay, as opposed to the other one.
This is
And you see how this
Lemandrin
leaf-
has no little
yeah,
extra
the
petiole
Mandarin doesn't have that little extra
spot.
spot
There,
on the
yeah.
base of the leaf. Interesting.
I'm gonna pass this along. I didn't make sure what
I'm
I'm
gonna
giving my
sit